What's your opinion on the situation that high quality teaching is limited to already financially privileged people? Oh my God. Okay. Is this the whole debate online where we should be teaching for free? I don't, I mean, you say that, but you're in a live stream where you're watching me for free work. So this is why I completely disagree with that. I think my stream is literal proof that it is not only for privileged people. Because there was this thing blew up on Twitter a while ago about like how professionals should give back and give their free time to teach for free, and I completely disagree with that, 100%. Like, if we work so hard to build these skills, why should it be given for free? I mean, I technically give it for free, but in saying that, I have no expectation that other people should give it for free either. I think it's a very entitled sort of mindset that because I've had students act this way to me as well. Like, students will randomly message me out of nowhere, send me their portfolio, and then get mad at me because I'm not looking at it. I'm like, I don't know who you are. I don't owe you my time. That sort of entitlement, I am not a big fan of. Like, if people do take free time out of their busy lives to help people, that's totally cool, right? But I feel there shouldn't be the expectation that you should do it. To be honest, you can achieve much with free education in this field. Oh, 100%. I don't think you need to do private mentorship at all. There's so much free content online. Like, there's, the stream, there's a lot of the tutorials I make and stuff like that. But then also there's so many free YouTube channels at the moment where you can get that sort of education for free, which is good. I only think the problem starts was when people are used to free education and then expect that free education from professionals personally. That's when I think it becomes a little bit of an issue. Because at the end of the day, professionals don't owe people their free time. But if people give it, that's cool. But people are not entitled to professionals' free time at all. But yeah, like, on saying that, right, like I said, I'm also self-taught. Like, you don't have to go to school. You don't have to do private mentorship. You don't have to do anything like that. You can learn everything entirely for free online. Especially now, it's like the easiest it's ever been to learn online. You don't have to go to a school. You don't have to pay for private mentorship. You don't have to do any of that. You can learn everything you want online. And especially, like, even if you come to my stream, you can ask me questions about the industry and I will answer for free. It's not like saying you have to do private mentorships or anything. You can just do everything for free. Blender for free, everything. Now is the easiest time ever in the industry to learn this job. It's easy if you pay money. This is what I also believe. I believe that if you pay for a service, there's a higher chance the service will be good. Like, if people just send me their work and expect me to review it, I get sent work all the time. It's the chance of me responding is not going to be super high. If we're in a paid professional mentorship, it's completely different. Obviously, we have scheduled meetings on time. Like, everything is always organized. It's much more legit if it's paid for, if that makes sense. So I feel like, also, this is another thing I'd say. There's a lot of times the students would send me work, I would give them feedback, and then they wouldn't do the feedback. But if you're paying for a mentorship, it means that you're now more invested in actually doing the work because you've paid for it. So when money is involved, it means both sides take the mentorship more seriously. If a student has paid to do a mentorship, right, and then they've paid for another session in 2 weeks, they themselves know they better do some work because they would have just wasted their money if they don't have something new to show by the next session, right? So that's why I feel like not everyone has to do like paid mentorships, for example. But if you pay for a mentorship, it essentially gives you an extra fire to actually do the work. Because yeah, like I mentioned, there's so many times that I would give people, free advice or whatever, and they just wouldn't do anything. So it's kind of a waste of my time and a waste of their time. But as soon as money becomes exchanged, then both parties take the conversation much more seriously. So that's why I feel there's always place for both paid mentorship, and of course there's so much like free content online that you can just go through if you really want to at your own pace. There's like pros and cons to both, right? What I also don't really understand is why people think it's okay for schools to charge a lot of money, but then they think it's a bad thing for a professional to charge for a few $100s for some mentorship. Like, I don't understand why that's a thing. When a lot of the time it kind of sounds like people learn more from the mentorships than the schooling. Yeah, the unfortunate reality is you don't really know the quality of what you're paying for as well. That is something true, right? Like you might pay for a mentorship and the mentorship night might be like live up to what you expect, right? I feel with this, give it a few sessions and see if it fits what you want. If it doesn't, leave it. Or obviously get mentorship from someone that you actually trust that will actually deliver. Yeah, I've had students in my mentorship that have literally said, I learned more from you in 3 sessions than I did for 3 years in school. And I was like, that's kind of shocking. But I hear that a lot more than people probably realize. So what I also do with my mentorships, right, is on the Discord, I do have a private mentorship Discord channel. And at the end of every single session, I post the students' work from the session in the Discord. So everyone else doing a mentorship can see where everyone else is at all times. And the reason I do that is it kind of helps keep them motivated to keep working, and it gives you a little bit of like friendly sort of competition, right? But also makes them feel like they're not by themselves in this sort of process. So they get to see how all the other private mentees are all doing at the same time, and get to kind of track how their progress is going around others. And it also helps keep them motivated to work and not fall behind. How many people would abandon you or not show up to do if it was free? Exactly. Like there's so many times where students have sent me their work. I've spent time, giving them a proper breakdown of what I think can be improved and what is good. And then I just get left unread. And it's like, why did I do that? It's like kind of a complete waste of my time. But yeah, like I said, as soon as like money is now involved, then both parties take the sessions much more seriously. People also can't take criticism all the time. I also on that point, if someone's willing to pay you for advice, they probably will listen to you more as well. Like I've never had a student go against what I say. And I think that is because money is involved. Like if they're willing to pay me for my advice, then that means they are willing to listen to what I have to say, and they trust what I say is correct, essentially. All I know is I spent a lot of money doing generic 3D course at AIE in Australia, and my results were nowhere near the results of Andrew's students in what I imagine is less time than my course. Unfortunately, that is kind of true. Like, that is kind of the reality of having like a direct mentorship from a professional compared to a school that needs to just accommodate everyone. Because that's the thing, right? Like with private mentorship, you kind of move at the speed of how the student is going. Where in a school, it's kind of just like global sort of body of work that everyone has to be able to achieve. I think universities cover everything so that people get a taste of what they want to pursue, but at the same time, they are not getting more specialized knowledge that are necessary for the industries. I 100% agree with that as well. Another benefit of doing like a private mentorship is you form a connection with the mentor who could be a useful connection to getting you into the industry later. Like say, for example, a lot of my students that go through me through the modeling mentorship, they also now go on to the texturing mentorship with my friend, Mohammed Mari. And then now that's 2 industry professionals they have that could essentially connect them with other people or help them get into the industry themselves, on top of having improved quality of work. Like people don't realize how important like a connection in the industry actually is. I also like with a lot of my students I've worked with, like I now personally know how they work and I know they're good. So for me, it would be much easier for me to recommend them to a studio because I've already seen how they work. Where say, for example, if someone just randomly sends me a portfolio, I don't know how they work. So there's definitely a lot of benefits to doing a private mentorship. I mean, I'm sure it probably comes across that I'm kind of just trying to like market myself or something, but it is something I genuinely believe in. I do believe having private mentorship is a valuable, has so many pros to it that I feel you do get your money's worth if you have a good instructor that teaches you. I think what makes me kind of feel that mentorship is so worth it is because I've seen how much my students have grown over the time. It's like really been shocking, like how much they've just elevated themselves in such a short time. It kind of really blows my mind. Not patting myself on the back or anything, but just seeing how a student has direct information and feedback from a professional how much they can grow in such a short time. It's like really mind blowing. I remember doing my first student, Carlos, back in a think tank. That's the first time I ever did a mentorship, right? And it just blew my mind just seeing how quickly he learned and developed. And his jump in quality was so quick, it was crazy. On my website, I do have some of my students that have finished their portfolio, their mentorships, and they're all super good. So Carlos here, we got Amit, and then we got Darcy so far. Oh, but yeah, all of their work was exceptional. I have links to their ArtStation and LinkedIn's on my website. Yeah, they all smashed it. The mentorship I have at the moment isn't anything crazy. It's just like 1 hour every second week. Once a week is just too little time for students to get like big jumps of improvement. So we just do every second week. School is also very inefficient for students because they have to maintain millions of dollars in building, resources, and housing, etc. A private mentorship eliminates these extracurricular costs. That's also true. Yeah, that's something I didn't really think about. But yeah, it essentially removes everything else and just focuses on the work. Mentorship means less years spent to learn. You'll become more better in less time with a mentor helping you, but 70% depends from you. Mentor is not good. Mentor is not God. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like I'm very honest with the fact that like if you don't do the work, you're just wasting your money with me. I've literally kind of said that before. Like if you don't do your work, you're just burning your money. I would rather you just do the work and then you get your value. I also think that's probably why Think Tank probably has such high quality students is because of the private mentorship. They they get to learn from a professional. I don't have a degree either. I just have an advanced diploma because I did like a technical college as well. But it was for graphic design, so it had nothing to do with what I do for a job, but it helped me get a visa. And I think that is one of the benefits of going to school is it helps you get visas and stuff like that. How did I learn all I knew? On the job, 100%. Like I learned most of what I know just doing the work. At the end of the day, nothing is going to beat the on-the-job experience that you get. But obviously, you need to do what you can to get into that position.